covering all of the Flint Bay region. This is NBC 25 News at 6.
Severe weather moving through parts of mid-Michigan tonight. Take a look at these pictures sent to us from our viewers in Gladwin County.
There are several trees down because of the strong wind. There's also been heavy rain and hail. Now these storms are hit or miss. While some places are seeing severe weather, others are completely clear.
NBC 25 Chief Meteorologist Jamie Cagle in the Weather Center right now, tracking these storms for us. Jamie, what's it doing out there right now?
Well, right now it's still very, very isolated in terms of these thunderstorms, and our threat for severe weather is beginning to drop off. We're not in the clear quite yet, but I'd say as we get past sunset, we will see the weather really start to quiet down. Let's take a look at storm ready Doppler radar. First of all, kind of a wide shot to give you just an overall perspective. Yes, they're very, very isolated, but where they are producing some pretty good rainfall. We'll start in close to Saginaw, the town of Saginaw, as well as Fairgrove into Tuscola County and Cass City. A couple isolated cells there. One or two lightning strikes in the last couple of minutes. So again, you may hear a few rumbles of thunder. As we move to the north into Roscommon County, right at St. Helen, we're seeing a pretty good cell. Elsewhere, a couple of other moderate showers in the area. And now as we jump over to Iosco County into Wilbur direction, there's one very intense cell right there. That is moving east-northeasterly. So it's going to have an impact on Lincoln Junction as well as Oscoda. And then jumping into the thumb, primarily around the Sand Lake Township and Forester, a pretty good cell there with one or two lightning strikes embedded with it. That'll be moving into Lake Huron here in just a few minutes. Satellite radar, still more rainfall coming our way. We still have some clouds in the area, so it is going to be real hit or miss. And you can see that rain has really cooled temperatures off from this afternoon. A lot of 60s and 70s in the area. We'll end up into the 50s, and we'll talk about what's to come for tomorrow and the rest of the week.
The city of Flint's delay in choosing a new water source could cause rates to go up across Genesee County.
According to both state and city officials, the decision to go with the KWA pipeline for the city's new drinking water source is murky.
But caught in limbo at this moment is the KWA project itself, and these delays by the city could end up costing water customers more money. Drew Moore is live in Flint tonight with how the numbers break down. Drew?
Right, Bill, in 2013, the KWA took out a loan or a bond for $220 million. They knew they would have to ask for another loan towards the end of the project. That's happening right now. Now, the good news is that the KWA is coming in under budget and rates on these loans are a lot lower. But it's the people who make decisions here at City Hall that are holding up the process, and they need to make a decision soon, according to those KWA officials.
Flint signed up for the KWA project in 2013. Shortly after, KWA borrowed $220 million to start construction on the project. Well, that money's now running out.
We try not to borrow more than we need.
John O'Brien with the Genesee County Drain Commission says they need millions more.
So we're in the process of selling our second series, so for approximately $73 million.
A second bond offering was in the original plans all along, but what wasn't in the plans is the city of Flint's decision to second guess going with the KWA.
My position is get good information before I recommend signing anything.
The residents are already scheduled to pay more than $600,000 a month for the project starting this November unless the city decides to take legal action to get out of it.
That's one way of putting it. We have an obligation, a legal responsibility.
However, according to O'Brien, Flint's estimated payment included borrowing the entire $300 million. Now, rates are lower and the project is under budget, and it could mean lower payments.
We're not sure what the new interest rate on this last 73, but we'll be at 293 with a lower interest rate. So once we sell this bond, then we'll recalculate, so it won't be higher.
A savings, in fact, but the longer city officials wait to back the KWA,
we may have to pay a little bit higher interest rate.
That means for a town with some of the highest water rates in the country, they could go even higher.
Potentially cost both Genesee County and Flint additional money for a higher interest rate.
Flint Mayor Karen Weaver said last week that she expects to have a decision on Flint's new permanent water source by the end of this week. However, talking to KWA officials, they said simply cannot wait too much longer, and they have got to get that bond out to market. If Flint doesn't join in, then it's going to mean higher interest rates, not only for Genesee County, but the water residents right here in Flint. Reporting live from Flint, Drew Moore, NBC 25 News.
We have an update to a deadly accident that shut down part of I-69 in Genesee County last night. Flint Township police say that 58-year-old Richard Sposito died after being hit by 3 cars as he was walking in the outside lane of eastbound 69 just east of I-75 about 10 o'clock last night. Investigators, though, still don't know why he was walking in the expressway. Officers diverted eastbound traffic to 75 at the interchange. The area shut down for hours.
In mid-Michigan, we're starting to feel the impact of a $70 million state initiative to provide better training for skilled jobs. NBC 25's Stephanie Parkinson explains why this funding is so important for community colleges like Mott.
Starting an engine, starting a career.
Still like turning the wrenches and figuring out new problems.
Working with cars is something Richard Ragnan has always loved, and the 2014 graduate of Linden High School couldn't imagine a better learning environment.
Everything I take here, I know what it's going towards and I know where I'm going to end up.
Thanks to $3 million from the state, there have been many upgrades in Mott's skilled trades programs, including in the automotive lab, where they now have a brand new alignment machine and lift.
It's great to see it making a difference for these people's lives.
Right now, Mott has all the technology they need to do the teaching, but this program alone has the capacity to double enrollments. With mechanics in high demand, Mott instructor Matt Rhoda gets calls from prospective employers constantly.
I almost hate it when the phone rings because we don't have enough students.
But that isn't slowing the demand for good mechanics.
We've all become very reliant on our cars, and they've got to run.
The need for qualified workers is something the head of the Michigan Talent Investment Agency warns will continue.
We're aging, people are going to be retiring in vast numbers.
For Richard Ragnan, this just assures him a job will be waiting when he's ready.
It's nice and settling because you kind of know where you're going with your life.
In Flint, Stephanie Parkinson, NBC 25 News.
Stephanie tells us Mott's Health Division CAD program and heating and cooling programs also benefited from this $3 million state grant.
A new downtown Flint post office opened its doors today. It's located at Kersley and Saginaw Street, right downtown Flint, right next to the Secretary of State office. Full service hours of operation Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The lobby, though, will remain open weekdays until 4 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to noon. They're closed Sundays and holidays.
We've had a presence down here since the mid-70s, and we're glad that we were able to relocate and open up a new, brighter, cleaner, nicer facility to serve the inner city and the downtown business community.
Postal Service reminds everyone that they receive no tax dollars for operating expenses and rely on the sale of postage, products, and services to fund its operation.
With the help of volunteers from across the area, the Saginaw Shiawassee Habitat for Humanity kicked off their annual week-long neighborhood rehabilitation project today. Now, they are working in conjunction with homeowners, many sponsors, area businesses, community groups, and churches to restore about 15 homes around the city of Saginaw.
It's dozens of groups coming out and volunteering their time with us. I tell people quite honestly, we're the conduit. There are people who need help, there are people who are willing to help, and we match up as many as possible, and we have a very giving community.
People of all ages and skill levels can participate. For more information, contact Habitat for Humanity. Tasks include scraping and painting, replacing windows, fixing decks, revitalizing porches, and much more.
The historic Crapo building in downtown Bay City may be saved from the wrecking ball. The building was the home of the Chemical Bank, which relocated to the Uptown development. Chemical Bank was planning to tear the building down to build a drive-through location. Well, new developer Jennifer Acosta plans to add life to the building with retail, office, and living space.
The little details, they didn't cut corners. They looked at it as art. And reflective, of course, of the business that was going in it. And you really see that in this particular building. It is absolutely gorgeous.
Plans for the development, though, are still in the works.
In 2011, the Arthur Hill School-Based Health Center opened its doors to see all patients ages 10 to 21 in the community. Today, the community was invited to an open house to gain more information about the school-based health center and to receive a tour of the facility. Now, visitors heard from students who used the clinic and learned about community partnerships as well as other in-school programming.
I'm excited because I know that we make a difference in the kids in our community. Our kids receive comprehensive primary care services, but this is a caring environment where kids need support. Adolescents are challenged by everyday activities and crisis, and they come here to seek counseling and guidance and just love.
The center wants to provide services to all youth, not just those who attend Arthur Hill High School.
There are plans that could transform the blighted former Saginaw Fairgrounds into a park. Details expected to be released this week about the efforts involving the Saginaw Fairgrounds Committee. This plan for the 54-acre property on the city's east side was created after community input. The Saginaw County Fair began back in 1866. In 2002, it moved to Chesaning, and the property was sold to the Saginaw Housing Commission.
In Saginaw tonight, a mother and baby are recovering thanks to the quick thinking of Patrol Sergeant Kelly Schmidt. When she arrived on the scene, the newborn baby was lifeless.
Sergeant Schmidt took the baby, put her on the floor, and then started CPR. She continued CPR until the ambulance arrived and transported the mother and baby girl to a local hospital where the newborn was placed in intensive care. Heroic actions. Coming up next on NBC 25 News at 6, it is construction season.
There are new projects starting this week you should know about and how they will impact your daily commute. Also ahead, boating safety week in Michigan, what you need to know.